welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you're new to this channel, seeing this gorgeous face for the first time. I'm Ashley Tima. Do not forget to click the subscribe button, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to another video. So today's video, guys, it's been long overdue. I am so sorry. First of all, I know I've been promising this video. If you're on my Insta, you know I've been saying I'm going to put out this video, but yeah, it's finally here, guys. It's finally here after such a long time. But today's video, we're talking about how much a trip to Zanzibar cost. So if you've been watching my videos, you know that I took a trip to Tanzania. I did Salaam and Zanzibar. If you haven't watched those videos, stop this video, go watch those videos, then come back to this video, okay? So today I'm finally going to tell you guys how much the trip cost. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down and just see what I can remember I spent money on. I remember how much the total trip cost. So I'm going to try and break it down to accommodation, food, and just the transportation. So yeah, let's get right into the video. First things first, you guys, Zanzibar is huge. Zanzibar is very big, and your cost will actually depend on which part of Zanzibar you decide to go to, or if you decide to visit the whole of Zanzibar, which is what I did. Well, not the whole of Zanzibar, but then I did most of the parts of Zanzibar, and I also did Salaam. So my budget is for 3 days in Salaam and 7 days in Zanzibar. So first things first is getting to Zanzibar. You could either take the train from Zambia, or you could take a bus to Salaam and then take a ferry. So I flew to Zanzibar through Ethiopian Airlines. I booked the flight through their website, or you could go to their offices, which are next to Radisson Blu. So the air ticket cost 7,300 kwacha. Yeah, at that time. And be aware when you're booking your flight, be aware of the time that you're going. It might be more expensive depending if it's high or low season. So the time that I went was low season, so I think the flights, but then I've been checking, the flights are still kind of around the same price, if not cheaper now. So yeah, that's how much the flight costs. And then before you go to Zanzibar, also you need to do a COVID test from the Zambian side, which it depends on where you go to do the COVID test. But then the one that I did, I paid 1,100 kwacha. So that's about it. You just need your COVID test, your passport. It's visa free for Zambians, so you don't need to pay for any visa, and yeah, then you're good to go. You fly into Zanzibar, where you will land in Zanzibar city at the airport. Taxi fares depend on where your hotel is. We were staying in Stone Town, so what I did for the taxis is I did my research, guys. Make sure you do your research before you go anywhere. And I did my research. I managed to get a few numbers for taxi drivers here on YouTube. I don't remember whose videos I watched, but I watched a couple of videos, and I managed to get some taxi drivers numbers who I messaged just to compare prices for the taxis. And yeah, the one that I settled with charged us 20,000 Tanzania shillings from Zanzibar city and to our hotel, which was in Stone Town. So that was by 3. This was a trip for like me and 2 of my friends, so we shared that cost by 3. And for the hotels, I'm gonna give you guys a round figure of like how much I spent for all the hotels, because it's gonna be long if I tell you like how much a hotel in each place was. But you could just go to booking.com. That's going to help you to be able to get a hotel that's in your price range. It depends how much you want to spend on a hotel. If you want to go on a budget, I think booking.com has literally everything: budget hotels, expensive hotels, everything. So yeah, that's how much it costs. And then when we got to Zanzibar, we decided to get a SIM card. Let me just open my notes just to make sure I'm giving you guys the right figures. So yeah, we decided to get a SIM card just to stay in touch, and just to make sure that we're not offline, because you can't find Wi-Fi everywhere. So we got a SIM card which costs us 5,000 Tanzania shillings, and be aware that they will try to overcharge you for a SIM card. Apparently there's like different prices for locals and for tourists. So we asked our driver to help us get a SIM card. Or maybe I say taxi. We asked our taxi driver to help us get a SIM card. So that's how we ended up getting the local price on a SIM card. So yeah, and then for activities in Stone Town, we did do the Spice Farm, and we did do Prison Island, which we paid $70 for 3 people. So it was 70 by 3. We could have actually paid less than that if we had actually waited to get to our hotel and then asked for information, because we found that you don't actually even need a tour guide to go to Prison Island, guys. It's very near. It was near from our hotel. You had to like walk to where the boats are, then the boats take you there. You don't need a tour guide, so just make sure, ask your hotel on how to get a boat. Don't pay any tour guide. You really don't need a tour guide. It's really not necessary. We could have saved so much money, but that happened. We paid $70 for 3 people. And then for food in Stone Town, food is really not pricey, again depending on what you're looking for. If you're eating local food in small restaurants, you're not going to spend more than 10,000 Tanzanian shillings on a plate. It's very cheap. It ranges from like 500. You could go get something for as low as 500 to 10,000 Tanzania shillings. There's the night market. If you've watched my Stone Town video, you see the night market. Food there is not really expensive, but then everything in Tanzania is just a bargain. Everything in Zanzibar, you just have to bargain. That's how things work. As a tourist, you have to bargain because there's going to be prices that are not for you. And then yeah, after that we did go to Dar es Salaam. So for Dar es Salaam we went by ferry, and the ferry cost us $30. Was it? Yeah, $30 each from Zanzibar to Dar es Salaam. That's economy class. Apparently there's different prices for East Africans and non-East Africans. So obviously Zambia is not part of East Africa, so we ended up paying $30 each for economy class in the ferry. And for transport in Dar es Salaam, if you're in Dar es Salaam, I know this is supposed to be like a Zanzibar budget, but then guys, I did go to Dar as well, so my budget includes Dar es Salaam. So for transport in Dar es Salaam, you could use the app called Boat. I'm going to put a picture of it here. So if you're ever in Dar es Salaam, you could use that. It's going to help you to be able to just get fair prices on taxis. Like taxis are not that expensive in Dar es Salaam either, depending on also where your hotel is and how far you're going. And yeah, for our hotel, I think Dar es Salaam was the most expensive hotel that we stayed at. We paid $89 for 2 nights. That was by 2. Food in Dar es Salaam also, it was a bit more pricey compared to Zanzibar, but we did go to Coco Beach, which had, yeah, Coco Beach. The food in Coco Beach was not that expensive, and that's about it. And then now back to Zanzibar again. We took the ferry. The ferry cost us $25 this time. I don't know how. I think we were like the last people, so they were like rushing. So the lady that was giving us tickets, I said, okay, give me $25, and we ended up getting upgraded to business class because we used the same ferry from Zanzibar to Dar es Salaam, so we ended up getting an upgrade. And now we're back to Zanzibar. So when we got back to Zanzibar, first we went to Jambiani, but we couldn't stay in Jambiani. It was a whole mess. So the thing that we spent the most money on in Zanzibar was transport, because we didn't stay in one place, guys. It ended up being so pricey because we literally moved from Jambiani to Nungwi to Paje, so we spent a lot of money on transport. So I'm guessing if you stay in one place and you don't have to keep on paying for taxis, you're not gonna really spend a lot of money. Taxis were really expensive. We were just lucky it was like the 3 of us, so we ended up splitting the cost. But then if you're by yourself, you're gonna feel it. So the more people you are, the less you end up spending on transport. So that's that. And then Nungwi, for the activities we did in Nungwi, we did go snorkeling in Namba Island. We rented a boat. So just make sure you, whatever hotel you're staying at, make sure you ask the reception, the locals. They always know these great deals. They always know, they have friends who could actually rent you their boats for cheap and save you money. So just make sure you ask around and try to bargain for everything. Make sure you bargain. So yeah, we ended up paying $50 for the boat by 3. Yeah, $50 for the 3 of us. We split it. And the boat, we were told it was only going to be us, but obviously it's never you. Obviously they picked up other people on the island, and the other people actually even, and they paid more. They paid more on the boat. We were actually lucky, we paid less. And yeah, so we paid $50 for the boat for 3 people, but we had an amazing time with the other people who joined us. And what else did we do? We did go swimming with the turtles. Swimming with the turtles cost $10 for each person. And more snorkeling. That I think the other time we went snorkeling, we ended up paying $10 each on a boat. We were like 5 of us, we each paid $10. So yeah guys, it really just, like on the island there's really not much activities that you're gonna do. It's hiring a boat, going snorkeling, and that's what you're going to end up doing on the island. And for food on the Nungwi side, food on Nungwi side was more expensive compared to Stone Town, but then that's because the island is covered with a lot of resorts. So if you're eating at your hotel or you're eating at a resort, it's a bit more pricey. But they have markets where there's like local restaurants which are a bit cheaper than eating at the resort, so you could opt for that. And again, we spent more money on transport because from Nungwi we went to Paje and we passed by the Rock restaurant. The Rock restaurant actually charges in dollars, but we didn't go in. The tides were like really high and we were late, so we just passed by, saw the restaurant. But if you do plan on going to the Rock restaurant, put money aside because that's not going to be part of this budget. And for hotels in Nungwi, again, booking.com, but I am going to give you guys a figure of how much we spent on the hotels everywhere. So yeah, from Nungwi we did end up in Paje, and in Paje we didn't really do a lot of activities because Paje was more chilled. Paje was like the place where you just wanna smoke your hookah, have a drink and just chill. Like everyone in Paje, everything was just pole, so slow. We didn't really do activities in Paje. We stayed at the hotel for most of the time and just chilled by the beach. So the food in Paje was also a bit more expensive because the food is only at the hotels. We didn't really find like local small restaurants that had cheaper food. And oh yeah, then for the hotel in Paje, we didn't use booking.com. So what we did is we just walked there. We walked around just to see which hotel we could get, and then we just negotiated. We negotiated for a hotel and we ended up spending, how much did we ended up spending $45 a night, or was it 50? No, we ended up spending $45 a night for hotel in Paje. That was by 3, so we all had to split the $45. And yeah, I think the most expensive thing in Paje was the food, which again wasn't anything more than $10 on food. And oh yeah, then I forgot to mention, we also did go to Kai Beach. Is it Kai Beach in Michamvi? That side is a little bit expensive. The food that side was expensive. I think a plate of food costs 40,000 Tanzania shillings, somewhere there. The food that side was a little bit more expensive. So yeah, I think that's it on the activities. The transportation, the most that we paid for transportation was for a taxi from Stone Town to Jambiani. We ended up paying 60,000 Tanzania shillings, which is a lot. But then again, it was by 3, so we split that. So the most we spent money on was transport. Transport was expensive. Food was okay. Activities were okay. Activities, it's normally snorkeling. You don't really have to pay a lot on activities, but then always remember to bargain. So the total cost for accommodation came down to $160 each. That was for the 10 days that we were there. That's including Salaam, Stone Town, Nungwi and Paje. So yeah, like I said, the most thing that you're going to spend money on in Zanzibar is transport. So if you decide to stay in one place, you're not going to spend a lot on transport. And yeah, what else did we spend money on? Oh yeah, then you're also going to have to do the COVID test from Zanzibar when you're flying back to Zambia or to your country, and the COVID test in Zanzibar costs $80, so that's part of the budget. So yeah, I think that's about it. That's all we actually spent money on. So the total cost of the trip was 20,000 kwacha. It was like 19,000 and something, which rounded up to like 20,000 kwacha. At that time, the rate was at 22, so that was like $900 around there. It was less than $1,000. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think I've covered everything that I spent money on. I don't think I've forgotten anything, hopefully, but that's about it. So I hope this helps you guys to be able to make a budget. And always remember to make sure, if you do decide to go, make sure you negotiate and make sure you do your research. It's very important that you do your research so you don't end up, what am I saying? Make sure you do your research so you don't end up overspending or underspending. Like if you make a budget, then you end up there and the money is not enough. So make sure you do your research, and also the prices are going to depend on whether you go during high season or low season. It all depends. The time that I went was low season because it was rain season in Zanzibar, so which meant a lot of people didn't travel to Zanzibar, so the prices were a bit on the lower side. and that was months ago, guys, so prices change over time. Don't go to Zanzibar then come for me if you end up spending more money. But that's how much I spent. I spent less than $1,000. I spent 20,000 kwacha for the whole trip. That's including tickets, food, activities, everything. So yeah, we've come to the end of this video. I hope this video helps you to plan your trip. And if you have any other questions that I haven't answered, just leave a comment down below and I will answer it in the comments. Yeah, I think that's the end. I've covered everything. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video with someone that might be interested. I hope you guys all take the trip to Zanzibar. It's amazing. It's amazing. Everyone needs to go there. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.